half a mind to report you for grand theft auto.
I'd like to hear that call. Hello, police? My son stole the Batmobile.
Remember, Robin, justice,
Not vengeance.
When Batman vs. Robin was released in 2015, it marked an intense and emotional continuation of the DC animated universe that began with Son of Batman. This film carried forward the complex father-son relationship between Bruce Wayne and Damian Wayne while diving deeper into the darker corners of Gotham City. It took the already strained bond between Batman and his young son and tested it to its very limits, creating a story that was as much about inner conflict and trust as it was about masked vigilantism. The tone was darker, the stakes were higher, and the emotional intensity made this installment stand out among DC's animated films of that era. Set in the shadowy streets and gothic rooftops of Gotham, the film opens with a chilling sense of mystery. Damian Wayne, still struggling to find his place as Robin under Batman's strict and unyielding tutelage, finds himself at odds with his father's code. His upbringing under the League of Assassins continues to pull him toward violence, while Bruce insists on restraint and discipline. This internal struggle becomes the emotional heart of the film, as Damian seeks independence, while Batman wrestles with fear, the fear that his son might become something he can't control. Their dynamic is a blend of love and mistrust, duty and rebellion, making their journey compelling and unpredictable. The film takes inspiration from the Court of Owls storyline from DC Comics, a haunting and powerful addition to Batman lore. The Court is an ancient secret society that has controlled Gotham for centuries from the shadows, manipulating events and people with ruthless precision. Their assassins, known as Talons, are nearly unstoppable, resurrected warriors who serve the court's will. When Damian encounters a mysterious figure known as Talon, he's drawn into their world, one that promises freedom from Batman's rules and a path of his own choosing. Talon becomes both a mentor and a temptation, offering Damian a vision of power and liberation that could pull him away from his father forever. This moral tug-of-war between Bruce and Damian gives the movie its depth and emotional gravity. Batman, haunted by his own demons and sense of responsibility, fears that his son's violent instincts will destroy him. Damian, on the other hand, sees his father's discipline as a cage, preventing him from becoming the warrior he believes he was meant to be. The tension builds with every scene, showing how love and pride can turn into weapons in a family built around secrecy and vengeance. It's a story about identity, about what it means to inherit a legacy, and how hard it is to escape it. Visually, the film continues the sleek, stylized animation introduced in Justice League, War, and Son of Batman. Gotham is rendered as a city alive with menace and mystery, full of narrow alleys, flickering lights, and looming statues. The animation balances realism with comic book energy, giving every fight a fluid and brutal rhythm. The choreography of the action sequences, particularly the duels between Batman, Robin, and Talon, are among the most kinetic and thrilling in DC's animated lineup. Each strike and movement tells part of the story, blending emotion with precision in a way that keeps viewers on edge from start to finish. The voice performances elevate the story further. Jason O'Mara returns as Batman, giving Bruce Wayne a weary yet commanding presence. Stuart Allen once again captures the stubborn intensity of Damian Wayne, bringing youthful arrogance mixed with vulnerability. Jeremy Sisto delivers a cold and charismatic performance as Talon, making him both a sympathetic figure and a dangerous adversary. Their interactions drive the film's emotional tension, particularly in scenes where Damian's loyalty wavers between his father and his new mentor. The voice acting ensures that every confrontation feels deeply personal, More than just a battle between good and evil, it's a fight for a family's soul. Throughout the movie, the theme of control versus freedom dominates the narrative. Batman represents structure, law, and the burden of responsibility. Damian represents instinct, emotion, and rebellion. The Court of Owls manipulates both sides, exploiting Bruce's paranoia and Damian's need for independence. This triangle of manipulation leads to some of the most psychologically rich moments in the film. When Batman begins to uncover the truth about the court, it challenges everything he believes about Gotham, that he was its protector and master, when in reality, unseen powers have been pulling the strings for generations. The film's pacing is tight and purposeful, balancing action with emotional depth. The sequences involving the court's initiation rituals, the eerie underground lairs, and the flashbacks to Bruce's childhood encounters with the court's myths add a layer of haunting mystery. Batman's investigation takes him into a psychological labyrinth where the line between reality and illusion blurs. These moments reveal that Batman's greatest battles are often within his own mind: the fear of losing those he loves, the guilt of his past, and the obsession with control that defines his existence. When the inevitable confrontation between Batman and Robin arrives, it's not just a clash of fists, but a confrontation of ideologies. Damian, under Talon's influence, believes he can forge his own path through power and aggression, while Batman desperately tries to bring him back from the edge. Their fight is symbolic: father and son, hero and heir, discipline and defiance. The emotional intensity of this battle is heightened by the film's score, which blends haunting orchestral tones with pounding percussion to create a feeling of both grandeur and tragedy. The audience feels the pain of both characters: Batman's fear of losing his son to darkness, and Damian's longing to prove himself on his own terms. The climax, involving the full might of the Court of Owls, is visually spectacular and emotionally charged. Batman faces a near-impossible battle against Talon and an army of undead assassins, but the true victory comes not through strength, but through understanding. Damian ultimately realizes that Talon's promises of freedom are hollow, that his path cannot be built on vengeance or manipulation. This realization brings the story full circle, as father and son finally stand side by side, not as master and apprentice, but as family. The aftermath leaves lasting consequences. The events of Batman vs. Robin deepen Bruce and Damian's relationship in ways that would carry into future installments of the DC animated movie universe, including Batman: Bad Blood. The film ends not with complete resolution, but with growth, a fragile peace between two people who love each other but struggle to express it. It's a reminder that being Batman is not just about fighting criminals, but about facing the darkness within and around the people closest to him. In terms of storytelling, Batman vs. Robin manages to balance comic book spectacle with grounded emotional storytelling. It's a movie that explores fatherhood, morality, and the weight of legacy through a superhero lens. The writers carefully weave elements from the Court of Owls comics into a personal narrative that keeps audiences invested from beginning to end. Every scene contributes to the larger theme of duality: order versus chaos, tradition versus independence, justice versus vengeance. What makes this film resonate long after the credits roll is its emotional honesty. Beneath the masks and martial arts, it's about a father trying to protect his son from the mistakes he made, and a son trying to prove that he's more than just a shadow of his father. The balance between vulnerability and strength gives Batman vs. Robin a timeless quality. It doesn't just entertain, it connects, revealing the pain and power behind the legend of the Dark Knight. Even as part of a larger shared universe, Batman vs. Robin stands strong as a self-contained story. It delivers the dark tone and mature storytelling that have made DC's animated movies so respected among fans. Its blend of family drama, psychological mystery, and visceral action makes it one of the standout entries in the Batman animated canon. Every scene feels carefully crafted to push both characters forward, deepening their bond through conflict and resolution. In the end, Batman vs. Robin is not just about battles fought in alleys and rooftops, but about the silent wars within the human heart. It reminds us that being a hero is not about perfection, but perseverance, about learning from pain, facing fears, and finding light in the darkness. For Damian Wayne, it's about discovering who he truly is beyond the shadow of his lineage. For Bruce Wayne, it's about realizing that even the strongest warriors must learn to trust, forgive, and love. The film's legacy continues to be appreciated by fans for its sharp animation, emotional writing, and mature storytelling. It captures the essence of what makes Batman stories so powerful, the fusion of action and introspection, myth and humanity. Every moment, from the eerie whispers of the Court of Owls to the final reconciliation between father and son, builds toward a message of redemption and connection. Batman vs. Robin may be animated, but its heart beats with real emotion, reminding audiences why the bond between the Bat and his son remains one of the most compelling relationships in superhero history.